Welcome to Northampton Town 2000-2001, the story of a season that was another step forward after promotion. It had been a busy summer, the arrival of Jamie Forrester, Marco Gabbiadini and Chris Hargreaves, and the departure of Sean Parrish and Alex O'Reilly amongst the major comings and goings. And Brentford on day one, a home game for starters, and the best possible start. Jamie Forrester paying the first part of that club record transfer fee back. He'd come from FC Utrecht and he scored the opening goal of the season in some style. Hargreaves ball through. This was the new boys in glorious harmony, setting the standard. It was a good start for Northampton. Played some good stuff in the first half, and a really excellent save denying John Frayne a second goal. Ian Sanson had been named as club captain in the build-up to the match, and Sanson only able to watch as Brentford came close to an equaliser. Lloyd Owusu's second effort saved by Welsh. In the end, Brentford did get themselves a share of the spoils. The match finishing 1-1. The main memory of the first away match of the season at Wycombe was injuries. Dave Savage limped off with a knee problem. Club captain Ian Sanson broke a bone, and there was a broken heart as well. Penalty scored by former cobbler Steve Brown, enough to give Wycombe a 1-0 victory. From the league to the cup, the Worthington Cup, the high flyers Fulham beaten by a superb goal from Marco Gabbiadini, his first for the club. A really excellent performance this against a very strong Fulham side. 20-year-old Gary Hughes replaced Ian Sanson in the centre of the defence, and they shut Fulham out and held on for that 1-0 win. It's a good chase. Now, what can Gabbiadini do with this? There's the effort! Wasn't far away. Well, Northampton recruited heavily in the summer, and the experience of Gabbiadini a key factor. Gabbiadini again. Howard got up. The chance is taken by Forrester. And Northampton have the lead. Nice move as well. But Gabbiadini, this time turning supplier. Credit Howard for the knockdown. And Forrester, 1-0. This is Rougier. Hampton regrouping at the back. There's the effort. Great save from Darren Caskey. And Welsh did well. Howard. Opportunity might not. That's lovely skills by Forrester. What a first touch. And it's 2-0 Northampton. Lovely knockdown. Now look at this first time touch like that. No chance, defender. 2-0 Northampton. That victory put them up to 9th place in the table. The match at Gig Lane, which was again a story of injuries. First of all, Richard Hope picked up a thigh injury that kept him out until November. Chris Hargreaves missed the match with a thigh injury, and to add to it, there was a 1-0 defeat to endure as well. Sadly, it was a long journey home from Lancashire. And so back to the Cup. To Craven Cottage for the unfinished business against Fulham with a 1-0 lead from the first leg. Ian Sanson returning from that broken hand, heading Northampton into the lead and making it 2-0 on aggregate. Cobblers showing their fighting spirit, but they were undone by a controversial goal that equalised on the night from Sean Davis. The referee seemed still to be positioning the wall, but that gave Fulham the chance to get their tails up, and they then really turned the screw into the second half. Fabrice Fernandez with a glorious solo goal tied the match on aggregate at 2-2, and Fulham ahead on the night. And then it was time for Louis Saha on cue. First one. And then another. Saha did it again. The Worthington Cup rode over for another year, and defender Richard Dryden was to join on loan from Southampton before the next game, away at Luton.
And it goes wide to Frayne, John Frayne on the left-hand side. Chips the ball forward for Howard. Howard gets the header on to Forrester. Forrester left unmarked. Is there, and he's shot, and he's in! Well, Jamie Forrester was left unmarked. Through the legs of Julian Watts, bottom corner in off the post, Nathan Abbey no chance. And it's chipped forward there for Forrester to run onto. He's onside. Jamie Forrester inside the Luton half. Cuts back inside, gets a cross in. It's out wide to Steve Howard, and he scores!
This is never an easy place for visiting teams. This is Forrester. Good try. Warner tips it behind. Andrew Mutrek really has looked very useful. Kinnett's free kick, a chance for Dolan. And a good save again. Hampton really battling hard here. Injuries to Frayne and Forrester have disrupted it slightly, but they're really now starting to look quite menacing. Now Gabbiadini. Sanson, Gabbiadini's gone for the return! Beautifully done. Lovely ball, back by Sanson. And Gabbiadini has put Northampton in front. Great one too. And Gabbiadini's finish, clinical. And the chase again. Gabbiadini. There's the ball in, the effort, good save. And it was Hunt's volley. After good work from Gabbiadini. They're playing some very positive football, Northampton. There's the cross again. Howard! Just unable to hit the target. It's well worked again. Gabbiadini. Hodge might be a better bet. This is Hodge. There's the ball in, and at last! And it's Steve Howard. His second goal of the season. Great ball in from John Hodge, unlocking the door. And Steve Howard, perfect header. Next, another long journey to Lancashire. And a match at Wigan, which saw Jamie Forrester make an appearance as a second-half substitute. Wigan, one of the pre-season favourites for promotion. They'd spent quite a bit of money, and Simon Howarth gave them the lead. The battling qualities of Northampton have been shown so often in the games in the early season, and they were shown once again. The wrestling match resulting in a penalty. Gabbiadini was held by the goalkeeper, said Mr. Robinson. And Ian Hendon did the rest. 1-1 the score. And a well-struck penalty. But it wasn't to be enough. Another searing move by Wigan. Great strike from Andy Liddell. And the points were staying at the JJB Stadium. From one W opposition to another, but this time back to Sixfields. And Wrexham, who made a dream start, scoring twice in the first 18 minutes of the game. There's the first. And here's the second. But to some people that would have been seen as game, set and match. But Wrexham had reckoned without the spirit of the Cobblers. Ian Hendon's corner. And Steve Howard's header perfectly placed. Critically, before half-time, it was back to 2-1. This was to be Ian Hendon's last match for the club before his £55,000 move to Sheffield Wednesday, which Kevin Wilson said would give young Gary Hughes the chance to make the right-back position his own. It also showed the Cobblers' spirit at its best. Jamie Forrester, after good work by Marco Gabbiadini, getting a point just 3 minutes from the end. An upbeat note to finish and to prepare. Well, a fortnight's break intervened before a match against Bristol Rovers at the Memorial Ground, which was to follow. Jed Pittman was there.
Allsop waiting in the centre. A great run being made by Hogg if he can be found. Dryden clears only as far as Walters. Tries to tee it up and can't. Good defending. They've got plenty back. Bignett, lovely little ball through, trying to find Hogg, who got there as well and forces a save from Wells. Allsop's in. And in the end it was Sampson who dived in with a tackle to put it behind. Lovely work from Bignett first of all, then Hogg, and then Allsop also involved. And it took a fair amount of good defending to get the ball away for a corner kick. Well, panic suddenly in the Rovers defence. Far too many times they've given the ball away, and now they're beginning to commit the sin of the odd free kick or two. This time a foul by a frustrated Astavievs on John Hodge, as Hodge takes the free kicks, kills it in nicely, and it's gone through everybody. People Gabbiadini runs into a cul-de-sac in the form of a Latvian. Not sure what the Latvian for a cul-de-sac is. Throw in to be taken by Gary Hughes. He's going to go for the long one again. And it's headed in. Well, I'm trying to see who's claimed it. I think it's Forrester who's got his arms up, and Northampton lead by a goal to nil. Well, they've tried the long throw throughout the afternoon. It never really looked a threat, but suddenly, with time on the latter stages of the game, Forrester's got on the end of it.
Need to make the most of these away games. Points away from home in your first season in the higher league can be vital, and that's not a bad try. What a good goal by Jamie Forrester. 5 minutes gone, and Northampton lead by a goal to nil. Forrester's control good, sees the keeper off his line. What about that? Means to make absolutely certain, and it's 1-1, and Port Vale back on level terms. Hodge for Forrester. This is Gabbiadini. Still Gabbiadini! Pick that one out, Mr. Goalkeeper. 33 minutes gone. And another absolutely top-class finish. You stand a yard off this fella at your peril. Just ask the Port Vale defence. Vale throwing the kitchen sink at Northampton. And Bilgen snipped in and got the touch. 2-2. And right back on level terms. It's nicely worked. They can make something of this. There are plenty of men forward in this Northampton attack. This is Hodge. Gabbiadini making one offer, and this is Gabbiadini. Lovely skills from John Hodge. Hargreaves' corner. And that's all closing in. Forrester's got it. Well, Ian Sampson, making his 300th appearance, would like nothing more than a goal, and he was close to that as well. Oldham have got to come back, trying to do something about this. And Green, oh dear, oh dear. Chapter 1 in the unfortunate stakes. Savage. The force is with Northampton still. Now Howard. Plenty of men forward in this attack. There's the ball back in. Hodge making a decent use! Yes! And the 20-year-old, the big doubt before kick-off, has scored. What a very good winner it was too. Very well struck, past the despairing keeper. And next stop, virtually a derby at Cambridge. It's well worked again. This is Forrester. What a start. Northampton have finally got the first goal. And it was again a ball by Marco Gabbiadini. Opened it up. And Cambridge spread far and wide. And run again by Forrester. Take aim. Oh, what about that? The look on Perez's face says it all. It's 10 in 13 for Forrester. And that's one of real quality. Have another look at how he cut inside his man and unleashed a ferocious right-footed effort. Perez no chance. Cambridge still in search. Driven right the way across. And finally, they get one back. But it was to be no more than a consolation. The points were Northampton's. Time for a progress report.
The new Division 2 season then kicked off in the heat of August. What was your main aim before the first match?
Well, the first aim is always to get enough points to make sure that we're going to be in the second division, next season. To come up here and, not be afraid of teams, worry about ourselves and give the utmost respect to the visitors or wherever we went. But not to be overawed and we've got promotion and come on, it's a great feeling. Let's see if we can achieve something this year as well.
Okay, some impressive home performances over the first few weeks. The away form maybe needed a bit of a boost after defeats at Wycombe and Bury as we entered September. You did that by winning at Luton and Millwall in the space of 4 days. Can you put your finger on why that suddenly turned round?
I just believe that when we went to Wigan and we went to Wycombe Wanderers, we didn't have the belief in ourselves. We went there and we never really believed in what we were doing. And you know, once we got the win on the road at Luton and Millwall, it really gave us a belief in what we were doing and what we were trying to achieve.
Busy October then, Jamie Forrester just kept on scoring. How vital to the team plan was signing Jamie in the summer?
Well, Jamie's been magnificent. I was going to say, and his goals have only proved that. The goals that helped us last year to get us promotion within the team framework, but you know, the way he started this season, he's done extremely well, and that's, you know, really looking at him, he's been bright, he's been positive, sharp and lively, you know, and his goals have been a massive boost.
And so, to Rotherham's visit to Six Fields. A year to the day that they'd won 1-0. And the Millers' luck was in again, despite the first half sending off of Guy Branston. Effort from James Hunt that went wide. Northampton, a positive beginning. But Rotherham were to get the only goal of the game. Once again, a shot from the edge of the area was to be Northampton's undoing. This was the last match before assistant manager Kevin Broadhurst left the club by mutual consent. Savage's effort was tipped over. It wasn't to be Northampton's day. So here's how the nationwide Division 2 table looked going into November. First stop in November, away at Colchester, which is corner. Right the way across and in by Forrester again. 11 of the season from a man who's rapidly becoming one of the buys of the season. Hodges' corner, the knock-on at the near post by Gabbiadini, the goal from Forrester. Again, good work. This is Hodge. Colchester on the back foot. Still on the back foot. There's the ball across. And in, yes, was it? The goal is given to Steve Howard. Northampton may be down to their last 16 pros, but they're on their way surely to win here. So here comes the corner. Stoke putting plenty of men forward, and Kavanagh! It's Kavanagh's goal. And Stoke have the lead. This will test Northampton's spirit and determination. Howard. Now Savage, that's nice. This is Forrester! And Mr. Dependable answers his call. It's 1-1. And what a very good strike once more. See it again and enjoy it. But it was the quality of the build-up as well. Before the ball was played in. And Forrester's finish summing up why Kevin Wilson paid that money for him. Well, the referee insisted before the kick-off that Northampton play in their away strip. Stoke coming forward in numbers again. And there it is. And that's gone in, and that's going to be an own goal. May well go down against Richard Hope. There he is. But there was nothing he could do. Now, the nuisance was by Forrester. And this is Hodge. Not a bad ball either. Howard! It's 2-2. And Hodge, the supplier, well finished by Stephen Howard. Right foot cross of the highest order for Stephen Howard to tie things up at 2-2. This is Hodge. No goals in this second half, so Howard's missed that. Gabbiadini. Oh, surely stayed for too long. And Stoke can clear. This is not a match that Northampton Town supporters will view with any great pleasure. And Kevin was honest enough to admit afterwards it was the worst performance of the year. Bournemouth, good value for their victory, with the man on loan from West Ham, Jermaine Defoe, getting 2 of the goals. That's the first of them. It was the first match for Northampton since Richard Dryden had returned to Southampton after his loan. And Defoe again had far too many skills for the back line on the day. One of those days, the less said, the better. Next stop, the FA Cup. It's not bad either. Forrester did nicely. John Frayne is arriving! And John Frayne hits the target beautifully. Forrester, telescopic sights almost. And John Frayne did the rest. On the left foot. Goalkeeper, no chance. Samson with that free kick. Howard knocks it on. Oh, and Forrester! And the Frickley defence have learnt a very painful lesson. Forrester again. Still going. Oh, what about that? That's as good as any you'll see in the FA Cup today. Absolute peach. Goal of real quality. Jamie cut inside. Sees the goalkeeper has come to the edge of his area. Bingo. Northampton surging forward. This is Hargreaves. Oh, it's only gone as far as Hunt. Number 4. And so to a league away day against Walsall at the Bescot Stadium. The day when Walsall undermined their own promotion credentials. Letao got the first. Letao made the second. Scored by Paul Hall. The Cobblers had Mark Maley on loan from Sunderland making his debut, and Darryl Clare also back. But neither of them could make an impact as Brett Angel completed the scoring and Walsall won by 3-0. And so to Swindon's visit to Sixfields. Swindon, a team in the lower reaches of the table. Clare's shot cleared after good work by Forrester and Hargreaves to set him up. But at the other end, Invincible proved to be just about that. And Alexander put Swindon Town into the lead. John Frayne had picked up a recurrence of a hamstring injury that would keep him out for 2 months. So it wasn't a happy Sixfields Stadium that Saturday night. Forrester with that header wide, meaning that Northampton had fired blanks and had lost their second consecutive game. Kevin Wilson ran the changes for the match at Millwall in the LDV Vans Trophy. Second match of the season, of course, at the New Den. 6 players coming in from the side beaten by Swindon. Sadly, his header was saved and Kinnett scored with the rebound to put Millwall in front. That's a very good goal at any level. And Kinnett, the man that scored it. Into the second half. Sadlier is brought down, says the referee. Kinnett completes his hat-trick from the penalty spot. This time Paul Eiffel with the run, and Sadlier making it 4. But the one bright spot for the Cobblers on a disappointing night, coming with a first senior goal for youngster James Gould, one of the players given his chance by Kevin Wilson. It was but a consolation. And so to the FA Cup, and the second meeting of the season between Northampton and Rotherham, and one goal settles it. An unfortunate own goal by Gary Hughes, enough to take Rotherham into round 3. What turned out to be the dream away match at Liverpool. Next, the short trip to Oxford, bottom of the table, in deep trouble on the pitch, and with speculation about their future off it. But they took their frustrations out on Northampton. Cobblers, though, did equalise. Forrester brought down. No question about that in the eyes of the referee. Savage from the penalty spot levels things at 1-1. But Oxford came roaring back, restoring their advantage. And into the second half, 2-1 became 3-1. Not much to savour in a disappointing afternoon, which gave us a league table like this in the build-up to the Christmas games. The Cobblers in 11th place, 14 points adrift of leaders Millwall. Next, it was Peterborough. Now Mackenzie. Still Mackenzie. And it's a posh goal to open the scoring from Leon Mackenzie. Forrester. This is Howard. There is this side. Looking to try and play it back in towards Forrester if he can get in the space. This is Forrester. Twists and turns. Oh, and scores! And the Cobblers tie it up at 1-1. With a very good goal. Clare's cross was good, but again it was Forrester's skills. Close control, twist and turn through the legs of the defender, past the despairing goalkeeper. Clare again. Plenty of players forward. Hunt. And Sanson, he's onside and he scored! And has the captain given Northampton their first win in this fixture for 13 years. Peterborough less than pleased with the absence of a flag. Lone defender Liam Chilvers impressed. Peterborough beaten. Howard. Savage's cross. Crooks. Far away. Crooks on loan from Manchester City, making his debut here. And Brown, oh dear, might be an opportunity for Savage. Well, he made him pay for a terrible mess of that attempted through ball. One of the defensive howlers of the season, contenders, and Savage scoring an excellent goal. Brooks. And again, got Hargreaves down the flank, and there's plenty of bodies in the box here. And Forrester! Happy Christmas, Northampton Town fans. 3 points surely secured. So it was to turn out. Great cross from Hargreaves. Look at Forrester. Time to sign a few autographs before heading home. The fans cleared the pitch of snow before the kick-off here to ensure that play could take place. Wycombe have got a lot of players forward. And Brown got the winner back in August. And the former Northampton man opens the scoring here. Brooks. This is Howard. Forrester! This time with the left foot from Jamie Forrester. Little man again showing that he's got two good feet. Seen many good right-footed goals. This was one with the left. Simpson's ball forward. And it's in. And Wycombe restore their advantage. Howard. Hodge. Howard! It's 2-2. He started so he'd finish. And Hodge was the man in the middle. So to the Majeski Stadium. Late drama and late heartbreak here. Good save by Welsh, who'd had 3 games out in December. And then a save from Samson. But Marco Gabbiadini in place of Jamie Forrester. Putting the Cobblers in front with his 3rd goal of the season, just 5 minutes from time. 11,000 watched this one. They must have thought it was Northampton's. But with 4 minutes of injury time played, Darren Caskey squared it at 1-1. And who would have believed it at Brentford 5 days later? A sense of déjà vu. Forrester was back for Gabbiadini, and the penalty awarded after Forrester was brought down. This virtually on the stroke of half-time. Dave Savage, 1-0 Northampton. It looked as though that was going to be enough, but this time it was 95 minutes when Lloyd Owusu scampered between 2 defenders to make it 1-1. Twice in a week, late goals. Hodge, still going. What a start for Northampton. 2 minutes gone. And some of the goals they've scored this season have been of real quality. And this is as good as any. Really was a fantastic run by John Hodge. Cut inside 3 players, finished with a left foot. Goalkeeper, no chance. Well, Bury won the corresponding fixture between these sides back in August, and they've got themselves an equaliser. Well, the chance might come, and does for Marco Gabbiadini. 5 minutes left, and they're in front. And the substitute's the man who's got it. Next up away, Bristol City. Good first half of the Cobblers, but no goals. Well, they were undone by 2 Bristol City efforts early in the second half. First of all from Simon Clist, and then another former Cobbler, just like Steve Brown, returning to haunt. Mickey Bell making it 2. Next, the home game with Peterborough and a debut for Lee Cannaville, the Arsenal right back on loan. Works quite nicely. This is Gabbiadini. Still going. Just couldn't reach it, Forrester. Hargreaves. Didn't get. Gabbiadini did. This is Savage. Still going, Peterborough on the back foot. Save. Narrowed the angle and saved it well. Forrester. He still can't break the deadlock. Here's Gabbiadini. And the goalkeeper did well again. Reading's free kick. Hargreaves missed it. And Gabbiadini almost did it off the post and away. How close can you come without scoring a goal? Next to the imposing Britannia Stadium. Kevin changed the formation for this game, playing 3 at the back. Gabbiadini's shot saved. One of the better moves Northampton put together in the early part of the match. Into the second half, and Stoke take the lead from a set piece. But then Northampton equalise when, for once, luck went their way. Poor old Stoke goalkeeper, conceding Steve Howard's 6th goal of the season. It's 1 defeat in 9 for Northampton. That's one that won't be in the Stoke City Hall of Fame. And so to Luton's visit to Sixfields. Luton with Joe Kinnear in charge for the first time since taking over at the relegation-threatened Bedfordshire club. And Stuart Douglas' header, after just 5 minutes, gave them the perfect start. Cobblers really struggled to get back into this game. Jamie Forrester, shot saved in the second half. And it could have been worse. Advantage played by the referee, Liam George, in possession for Luton. Sampson one way and Savage, who eventually committed the foul, the other. Fury of towards the referee. Penalty decision, and Matthew Spring hits the bar. Luton held on for victory. To give us this league table, Northampton in 9th place with 42 points. Bristol City in 6th on 51 may be the target. That was the bottom playoff place. Next, away to Notts County. Again, not one for us to dwell on for too long, and not one for the Cobblers faithful to remember with any great delight. A goal in each half proved decisive as non-contract defender Kevin Nicholson made his full debut. Chris Hargreaves limped off with a groin injury. Steve Howard hit a post, but that was about it. Next, arguably the most exciting game of the season against the leaders Millwall. Won by Harris. And Moody! And Millwall have the lead. Leeds free kick. And Harris! 2-0 Millwall. 9 minutes gone of the second half. And is that decisive time from Neil Harris. Rains corner. Sanson involved and in from Gabbiadini. Knocked down to him by Sanson, and Gabbiadini finishes well. Don't underestimate Sanson's involvement in that. A great knockdown, and Gabbiadini first time past the goalkeeper. Chance again to create the damage. Howard knocked back. This is Frayne, and he's gone down, and the referee's given the penalty. Matt Lawrence fouled his man, says the referee, and Mr. Roger in no doubt about this one. Close look at it. John Frayne knocked the ball back in. Matt Lawrence took Forrester's legs away, and the referee ideally placed to see it. Savage with the opportunity to square it, and does. And they've shown tremendous spirit, Northampton, to get this back to level terms. Biadini. This is Sanson. Howard. And he's given the penalty. And it's Lawrence again. And Mr. Rigier will have none of it. Lawrence has given away 2. This was not really a move that looked as though it was going anywhere. But Howard's little piece of trickery. Matt Lawrence there. Look at the positioning of the referee. He gave the spot kick. Savage! 10 minutes to go. It's 3-2 Northampton. And they've scored 3 in 20 minutes to come back from the dead. Get it! It's 3-3. It's been a wonderful football match. And have Millwall rescued a point? And so a little bit of revenge opportunity against Wigan. Jamie Forrester, in first half injury time, opens his 2001 account in a match that saw Andy Morrow make his full league debut. But once again, it was number 18 who stole the headlines. Forrester, left-footed, sweet as you like. 1-0, decisive. Another home game followed against Swansea. Promoted last year, the Swans, but they really haven't had an awful lot going for them. Oh dear, hesitancy, punished in full. And Swansea have the lead. Rain's free kick. Samson ties it up at 1-1. And it looks to be enough to get a late point for the Cobblers. Just 2 minutes remain with John Frayne putting the free kick in, and Sanson, with defenders either side of him, rose to head the ball into the back of the net. But it wasn't over. Not a bad cross either. Gabbiadini! He's won it surely now. Marvellous close control, first time shot. This was the late show, and it was a tremendous goal because he had to control it, judge it right. One attempt he'd got, and it was enough. 2-1 Northampton. Well, the trip to Wrexham on a Friday night was clear proof of the fact that sometimes scorelines flatter teams. Northampton was somewhat better than the 3-0 scoreline suggested. But Wrexham at home on a Friday night, the crowd on their backs are always stiff opposition. Steve Howard returned from suspension in place of Andy Morrow was the key piece of team news from Kevin Wilson. But it didn't really make a lot of difference because Wrexham scored some good goals. And again, it was a long journey down the M6, returning to Northampton from the northwest. 2 at half-time, 1 more added to the pile in the second half. At least there was another game against Bristol Rovers 5 days later to ensure that this one didn't fester for too long. 3-0, it went to Wrexham. Next was Bristol Rovers at Sixfields. Worked quite nicely. This is Howard. And this is Gabbiadini. Still Gabbiadini. He's gone down and the referee's given the penalty. Didn't need a very long look either. It was the ball through from Howard that really unlocked the door on Bristol Rovers. Well, all over the place, wasn't it? Penalty decision, unquestionable. Savage got 2 against Millwall from the spot and adds another one here. And the perfect start with 12 minutes gone, Northampton ahead. Gabbiadini goes on. Well, the end wasn't anything like as good as the run to it. Really spraying it around, and Bristol Rovers beating the retreat once again. He's still got on Forrester. And Calkins made a very good save. Howard looks up, sees what's on, and that's what's on. Forrester. James Hunt speeding through the middle a la Formula One, and the speeding Hunt has made it to 19 minutes left. He's got his second of the season. It was again Forrester involved. Not only was he scoring goals throughout the season, he was also providing some valuable assists. Hunt's finish, though, was good. Rovers have battled hard. They've been well outplayed here for long periods of this match. And it might come for Ellington, and does. Walters set him up. Ellington scores. And next for the Cobblers, their second meeting in a fortnight with Swansea. This one at the Vetch with Rob King.
Looking for the long ball forward. And Forrester is onside. Jamie Forrester past Freestone, back off the post and into the arms of the Swansea keeper. The Swans felt they were let down by the linesman, saved by the woodwork. For John Frayne to take the corner at the end of this first 35 minutes. High into the box and in. Steve Howard. Oh, that's a bitter blow for Swansea right on the stroke of half-time. It didn't even look the most threatening of corners. Roger Freestone was coming for it, but he bumped into Nick Cusack of all people, and that gave Howard all the room he needed. Davy Bromo wasting no time with a quick free kick, and Fabiano has found Veshav out on the right, low across the area for Watkin. 8 minutes into the second half, Steve Watkin has put the Swans back on level terms.
There was quite a break after this before a match with Oldham, and that's how the league table looked. The playoff places with Stoke in the bottom one of those, just 5 points away. Well, Oldham saw 19-year-old Paul Dempsey make his debut after a free transfer from Sheffield United. John Frayne scored the goal for a Cobblers team lacking Steve Howard, who joined Luton on a £50,000 transfer on deadline day, having rejected the offer of a new contract. He went close with another effort from Marco Gabbiadini. Into the second half, and Oldham came roaring back. Appeal for handball not given, but Lee Duxbury there to square the match at 1-1. And the big disappointment was that this was to turn out to be the first time all season the Cobblers had taken the lead and lost. Once again, Lee Duxbury involved in Oldham's scrambled winner. And so did the last game of March against Oxford, bottom of the league, completing a double with that Paul Tate goal. Kevin Wilson was to make his first appearance of the season as a second half substitute for Duncan Spedding. Closest that the Cobblers came, Jamie Forrester twisting and turning. Keeper making a very good save. The Cobblers were to end March in 11th place in the table. This was Forrester again, showing his close control skills. The keeper making a good save. And it was next stop Swindon Town. The match at the County Ground watched by Phil Duffel.
Wone under the keeper and in! What a start! And Ian Wone gets his second bizarre goal in the space of a week. He scored direct from a free kick away at Rotherham when everybody left the ball and it drifted in, and exactly the same has happened again here. Hope and Green have made their way forward as John Frayne prepares to take the kick. And the header is brilliantly turned aside by Mildenhall. Second fantastic save of the half to deny Richard Hope. Well, he's kept 7 clean sheets in 15 league appearances, Steve Mildenhall, since coming into the side. Savage breaking from midfield, wasn't picked up. Savage with a chance, takes it beautifully. Wonderful equaliser. Dave Savage's 7th goal of the season. And Swindon, well, poor keeper Steve Mildenhall exposed for the 3rd time in the game. Davis heads forward. Forrester, lovely touch to Savage, score of Northampton's goal. Outside him is Spedding. Forrester waits in the middle. Reeves clear, Whitley on the volley! And Mildenhall needed to make the save. Difficult to see from here, it may just have been going past the post, but certainly the goalkeeper wasn't to know.
Next, Cambridge United. New manager John Beck at the helm, and a great strike by Ian Ashby, putting Cambridge United into the lead. Northampton trying to come back into it. Forrester's effort, and Sean Marshall, the Cambridge keeper, doing just enough. Cambridge wrapped it up late on. A very disappointing Good Friday night this for the Cobblers. And Cambridge easing their relegation worries with a 2-0 victory. And so to Easter Monday up the M1 at Millwall. The FA Cup road had come to a full stop here, and 3 more points went away. Barker involved, the pushing and shoving, referee no hesitation, penalty. Mark Robbins scores what turns out to be the only goal. James Hunt's season is ended when he's carried off with knee ligament damage, and Kevin Wilson accuses the team of lack of passion. Those words were ringing in the players' ears when Colchester came to Sixfields and Richard Lopez made his full Cobblers debut. Savage. That's nice. Now, can he make something of this? Still going, Savage, and he's gone down. He's given the penalty. Referee, no doubt at all. Savage was proving a real handful. Challenge perhaps more clumsy than malicious, but the referee saw enough, gave the penalty. Savage scores. Northampton in front. He's on the run still. Gabbiadini. There's the ball across. And it wasn't far away from Forrester either. Gabbiadini again. It's been at the centre of much of the good play. Hodge. Now maybe the chance might present itself for Forrester. And does! Beautifully taken. And surely that's the first win in 7 for Northampton Town. It was great work by John Hodge to set the ball up. This match saw Roy Hunter and Lee Howie come off the bench to make their first appearances of the season after long-term knee problems, and Danny Lowe, the first youth player to play for the club in 8 years. Vale's involvement in so many cup competitions meant they had a backlog of fixtures, hence the visit to Sixfields on a Thursday evening. Tony Naylor gave Vale the lead. Lee Howie started this match. The local youth player Chris Carruthers appeared as a half-time sub and impressed, but didn't impress as much as Port Vale, for whom Stephen Brooker made it 2-0 and took the points to the Potteries. Brooker from Newport Pagnell enjoyed his moment at Northampton rather more than the home fans did. Closest they came, that effort, they went wide from Gabbiadini. It wasn't their night. 2 days later, some 600 Cobblers fans headed south for a weekend in Bournemouth. Postcard read the same. Rotten weather, shame about the football. This was the last ever game at the Old Dean Court before extensive redevelopment work. Keith Welsh returned after a calf injury, and Bournemouth kept their playoff hopes alive. 1 goal in each half, the second there, cruelly deflected off Ian Sanson. Bournemouth 2, Northampton Town 0. But this story was not to have a happy ending, even though there were so many memorable moments. Jamie Forrester missed the last match on compassionate leave, and Howie went close with an effort for Northampton against the men from the West Midlands, but then an angel took over. That was the first. Dave Savage was also missing from this game because of an Achilles injury, and their experience being away really did show. Angel again made it 2. Rising above, it was almost as if it hit his halo and headed into the net to make it 2. Before the game, Ian Sanson had collected the Player of the Year award. He would have been as disappointed as anybody with the low-key ending, as Brett Angel helped himself to his hat-trick and went home with the match ball. 3-0 it finished. Not the ending anybody would have wanted, but that said, it was a season where the first aim, as Kevin Wilson had said, was to secure the status for another season. That Northampton have done with ease. They finished 18th in Division 2, but the memory of some of those Jamie Forrester goals in particular, very happy ones to take through until it all starts again in August. 57 points, Millwall and Rotherham, automatic promotion winners.